This is Talk of Better World. Tell your mom.
Hey, and welcome back to Talk of Better Worlds. This is podcast number 71. You will notice right away I am flying solo today, and that is fine, because today's episode is more of a rant than anything else. But yeah, we're going to save that rant for the end. Been a busy couple weeks in the video game world, and we have quite a bit to talk about. So let's see. Let's first start off with all that stuff. So we had 3 big game showcases. We had the Summer Game Fest, the Xbox Showcase, and then Nintendo Direct. There was also a Sony one in there. I forgot to pull everything up for that, but we'll still talk about that. It was mainly about 2 games, and I think they actually cover it in this article I'm about to be looking at. We shall see. We shall see. Let's go ahead and jump into this. So, all right. We have, the 25 most exciting games of Summer Game Fest 2026. They might be showing everything in here. But, some of the games that were shown, this is what Game Informer says is the most interesting 25 games, at least. So we had Burn 9, which is a Metal Gear Solid inspired game. Looks pretty awesome. If you like the older Metal Gear Solids, not the newer ones, but like I want to say more of like the Nintendo ones, but those are super old. It's like a pixel version of the PS1 games. Probably the best thing to say about it. But yeah, looks very interesting. I am excited about that one. We got a new Castlevania Belmont's Curse. This one was actually part of the Xbox game show. That one is awesome. Clockwork, we're going to save that. Clutch, which is the racing game. It's made by the people who were formerly from the Forza Horizon studio that branched off, made their own. This one looks very exciting if you like racing games. Man, this is all just the other shows. You know what? Screw it. We're just going to skip Summer Game Fest, go straight to Xbox, since that article was pretty much a miss. But Xbox Showcase came up, and it was good. They did a very good job. I'm very, very happy with this. First off, they start off with Gears of War E-Day, which it was announced like, hey, this is going to be an Xbox console exclusive. Okay. All right. I mean, I'm sure there were probably some PlayStation fans who wanted that. I'm sure there were, because Gears of War is a pretty awesome series. But yeah, that kind of took a hit because Xbox was listening to their fans. Their fans said they wanted more exclusives. So like, hey, here's the exclusive. They closed out with more COD, which was dumb. They showed off Halo Campaign Evolved. This one is still set for PlayStation, even though they did remove it from the PlayStation's showcase. Interesting choice. We had Metro 2039, which looks like it's going more back to its roots of the first game. They gave us another look at Fable, which is awesome. And hey, Maria, we had Minecraft Dungeons 2 shown off. We had Senua, Wolong 2, Wings of Ember, State of Decay 3, Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy. We had Clockwork Revolution, which is their other console exclusive, which I hope it does well. It's made by In Exile. They've been working on it for quite a while. This is the studio that last did Wastelands 3, which I'm a super fan of. So really hoping it does well, given it's being a console exclusive. Same with E-Day. As we all know, sadly, Xbox console doesn't sell many games, so they're kind of relying on like, hey, keep your Game Pass subscription, and then PC players carry us for game sales themselves. We had the new Spyro announced. We had a DLC for Doom: The Dark Ages. The much anticipated Persona 4 revival. That one looks awesome. Looks like it. I mean, it's basically the same upgrade they did with 3, just for 4. Castlevania, which I just mentioned. Where the Winds Meet. We had the announcement of Persona 6, which is epic. People are excited for that one. Another update to Flight Simulator. Crazy Taxi was announced. That one took the internet by storm, partially for some weird reason. People were kind of getting upset that they took out Pizza Hut and replaced it with Five Guys. I mean, Pizza Hut isn't doing as well as they were back when Crazy Taxi first announced, so I get the change. Five Guys is more prevalent these days, so I guess just keep it up. And plus, Five Guys is probably dishing out money for it. It's advertisement for them. There was an update to Sea of Thieves, which is like custom seas, letting players actually make their own stuff, which is awesome. Another update for Elder Scrolls Online, an update for Fallout 76. So, you know, Bethesda and ZeniMax have their hands full with those two. We had Valor Mortis, which looks like a, some people are saying it's a, what is that game called? BioShock. Other people are saying it looks more like the stealth game, which I'm drawing a blank on because I haven't played it in years. Whatever, stealth game. Can't remember it. Age of Empires got another update for it. Bad Magpie, which looks like the Untitled Goose game, just different bird. Looks interesting. If you like causing chaos in games, just having a good, fun, dumb time, that is a game to check out. Vivarium, Join Us, and Magicians, The Devil's Deal, which also looks like a BioShock-inspired game. Overall, it was a very, very good showcase. I really can't say anything bad about it. I mean, I will end up saying something bad about it, and it's really about Gears E-Day and Clockwork Revolution and the way that Xbox is doing things, because we got a pretty bad update about them this past week, at least business-wise. We had the Nintendo showcase. Well, before I go into Nintendo, the PlayStation showcase, like I said, I forgot to pull it up. The main topics were Wolverine. They showed off a lot of gameplay. That was good, like 15, 20 minutes shown of that, which is basically a whole mission. They then showed off God of War, Faye something, I forget the name of it. God of War. Oh, what are they calling it? Why is this being a pain? Luffy, there we go. Yeah, God of War Luffy. They showed off a good like 15, 20 minutes of that one. Basically another, again, a whole story mission. Was very interesting. It looks beautiful. Way more action-y than Ragnarok was, which is a plus in my book. The last two God of War games were beautiful. I can't knock them there. Story was very impactful. They did a great job there. But yeah, same reason I don't play many Dark Souls games is they feel a little too slow for me. So I'm glad to see this one's a little more upbeat, action-packed. Not there's anything wrong with those games. Yeah, let's go right into Nintendo. Reason I jump into Nintendo is through many polls I have seen, and not just on like Nintendo fan sites, this is the showcase that kind of blew people away. Partially because of that. The final announcement was the remake of Ocarina of Time. But yeah, they start off with Rhythm Heaven Groove. It's a sequel to a game that released for the Switch 1. Wasn't the biggest in the world, but I mean, it did sell like over 1 million copies, which is impressive for a small little, I guess, music-based game. This one has a like single-player RPG element to it, which is kind of interesting. Onimusha, Way of the Sword, which was at all the showcases pretty much. It's coming to everything. If you never played the Onimusha games, they were on the PS2 originally. Fantastic predecessor to the modern Dark Souls format. With sadly, they did suffer from the old school Resident Evil cameras, so took a while to get used to, but they are really fun games. Dragon's Dogma 2 Arisen got announced, or Dark Arisen. I was very excited for that. Like, this is the only showcase I actually took notes on. I wrote 3 pages of games I'm interested in, which is basically every game they announced, except for, you know, Rhythm Heaven. But yeah, that Dark Arisen's coming out October 9th. We had Stellar Blade announced for it, which is coming later this year. Orbitals, they gave us another look at that. The co-op anime game looks fun. Getting a lot more hype for it, which is cool. Glad to see it getting hype because it has that old school anime style that looks like the original Gundam back in the day. beautiful look for a game. Hope it does well. Usually these games do decent, so we'll see. We will see. Rayman Legends Retold, which was also another game announced at other showcases. It's Rayman. They did a lot of work on it to bring it up to modern day. Given this game's not too old, it was on the, I believe it first now released on like the PS4, or sorry, was it PS4 or PS3? I think it was PS4. Yeah, so it's not like the oldest game, but it did suffer a little bit. It looks much more smooth, and yeah, it's Rayman. Which Rayman, if you've never looked at power scaling for characters, check him out because he is way, way more powerful than I would have thought. Like a lot of games. Big Walk, which is a game they're not showing a picture of right now. It's the co-op game where you're like these weird bird-looking things. Like if you remember the bird that like dips into water that you can set up. You look like a bunch of those, and you walk around, have fun, play jokes on each other. One thing they made a point of, like, say your buddy's sitting there with binoculars, you can walk up, snatch them, and just throw them in the water. Interesting thing to focus on. One Piece Grand Gourmet, which basically just, it's mainly for One Piece fans or people who like the little cooking games. I never played them myself. There's one where it's like the co-op, everybody's in the kitchen, you have to work together, work your own station to complete your meals. Fans of that stuff will love this. One Piece fans are probably going to buy it up. I'm iffy on it myself. They announced updates for Pacopia, which was pretty impressive. The first one is a free one, and it's going to let you explore underwater. They're going to go on adding more stuff to build, more locations. I mean, they're going all in on this game. We've gotten more announcements for this than we have for Mario Kart World. So, yeah. And it's not an $80 game. They showed us more of Fire Emblem's Fortune Weave, which is exciting. I am looking forward to that one. That one comes out September 17th. September is a very, very busy month. September and October are packed with games, mainly because everybody's trying to avoid GTA, which comes out on the 21st November. Ninjala 2. I never played the first one. I didn't even know it was a thing. It was one of those games that I just saw 2, and it's like there was a first. The first one was a multiplayer game focused on kids. This one has more of a single player but co-op type vibe to it. It looks interesting. I'm probably going to check this one out. You can see a little kid here has like bubblegum. A lot of your ninja attacks are like bubblegum based. So it'll be interesting. It's probably still very focused towards kids, but I'm looking forward to it. Nintendo finally announced some sort of like achievements type thing. And it's with Donkey Kong right now. You go back and play some of the old games plus Bonanza. And you can unlock these little cards you can see here in the background for doing little things. For the old games, it's pretty simple. They actually teleport you. Like you go to choose to do that mission. It teleports you to right before that mission takes place, like right before that area. You just quickly do it and it pops up with your little achievement. You got it. Bonanza, you just have to play the game and they'll pop up as you go. This does require Nintendo Switch Online, which, I mean, makes sense to play the classics. You have to have it. So there's that. It'd be cool if they did it without that, though, for people who like achievements. I'm not an achievement hunter, never have been. A lot of people do love it. So, hey, if you got some Nintendo people who like them, there you go. Finally got them. More on the DLCs, plus they're showing like it's Mario and Luigi theme for the anniversary. Jujutsu Kaisen Rumble Survivation. Really weird name. It's Devil Survivor, but with Jujutsu Kaisen characters in its multiplayer. So, hey. Vampire Survivor was a very popular game. We also got announced a port of Lords of the Fallen 2. Liza P Complete Edition, which is an actual physical game complete on the cartridge. That's one to look forward to if you like Souls-likes. Devil May Cry 5, you're getting the Devil Hunter Edition. Muramasa Revenant Blades it got its remaster and it's coming out. Xenoblade Chronicles got a lot of love there because all 3 of the games so far, I mean, we already got the updated version for Xenoblade Chronicles X, but 1, 2, and 3, they're getting their Switch 2 editions, which are enhanced, bring them to 60 FPS and all that good stuff. 1 is out now, 2 drops the end of next month, and then 3 is later on this year. 2's 30th. 3 releases digitally December 4th. And then we got the announcement of the next one, which is Xenoblade Genesis, which is a game you could jump in at any time. You don't need to have played 1, 2, and 3. If you're a purist, you're probably going to say you need to play them all and then this one. But this is a jumping on point for people who want to experience Xenoblade but don't want to feel overwhelmed by being like, God, I gotta play 3 games before I get to it. Like, no, just jump into this one. Whole new story, unrelated. Should be good. I'm looking forward to that one. Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, which is the Switch 2 Nintendo Sports. So, hey, awesome. Which, it's funny. If you watch the trailer, they actually have the dude sitting there and he's playing one of the games. He chooses to play thumb wrestling. And I'm sure you've seen it all over the internet by now, but he's doing this motion like rapidly. And that went pretty viral. RuneScape Dragon Wilds, which is going to everything. This game has been early access for quite a while. It's finally coming out for the actual release of the game. It's coming to everything. I'm excited for this one. If you played RuneScape back in the day, you'll understand the love. If you haven't, it was a big MMO back before MMOs were like super duper popular, before WoW. And it was free. But I am looking forward to this one. Very much so. Hello Kitty fans got a little bit of love. Hello Kitty Party Island. They talked more about Star Fox and said the demo's out there. The demo is great if you haven't checked out. It's the training, and then you get to do the first full mission. So that's awesome. Plays really well. Final Fantasy Resonance, which is the first HD 2D Final Fantasy game. If you played Brave Exvius, it does have the same main character, touches on some of the same plot points. It is not just a port of the game. They basically took what they had going for that game and reimagined it into a full game. So I am getting this one absolutely day one. Comes out October 22nd. It's already up for pre-order, so definitely check that out. Piku Niku 2, which I don't know what it is. There's a first one apparently, but cute little game, puzzle game. That's all I can say about it. They gave us another look at Dragon Quest Monsters, The Withered World, which was first announced the other week at the Square Enix, or the Dragon Quest showcase. Gave us an actual full look at this one. It's Dragon Quest Monsters. It's like Pokemon, but with Dragon Quest characters. They're great games. I'm actually going back and playing Dragon Quest Monsters Joker for the Switch or the DS right now. Very much love those games. They gave us another look at the Duskbloods, and like I had said multiple times so far, I don't play many Dark Souls games, but dude, the Duskbloods looks awesome. It looks absolutely fantastic. They're doing a stress test later on this summer, and yeah, it's set to release this year. We still don't have a date for it. We've been waiting for a date, and we just haven't gotten it yet. They talked more about Splatoon Raiders, which I've never played Splatoon. PvP games aren't my scene really. This like RPG type game looks really awesome. Looks really awesome. The single player is coming to Switch 2 on July 23rd. That's what I'm there for. I am not there for the multiplayer. Deltarune 5, Chapter 5 got announced. So if you play Deltarune, I mean, this is Chapter 5. It's not like a super old game. They're pretty short for the little RPGs they are, but definitely check that out if you're a big fan of that. It comes out June 24th, so here just in about a week. Metaphor ReFantazio got announced. I am looking forward to that. That one, they're pushing it. They put it November 12th, which is getting close to that GTA area. Minecraft is getting its Switch 2 port, which enhanced everything and all that to work on it. And then, they had a little spoiler reel or sizzle reel. There was a new, I don't know how to pronounce this game properly. Atelier, or it's Atler. I hear people say it both ways. I have no clue. I say Atelier Caria. That's coming out. We had Warhammer 40K Space Marine, which I thought it was Space Marine 2, but they're saying it's Space Marine 1, so that's interesting. We had the Observer, System Redux, DayZ is coming, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Tales of Eternia, which I am super excited for, big Tales of fan. This one was on the PSP, I think, or it was the Vita, but fantastic game. I can't wait to buy it again. SnowRunner's coming, Fitness Boxing 3, your personal trainer, Everbloom, which is another Stardew Valley type game, and then Final Fantasy 14, the online game, is coming. Then we had a big announcement of, hey, Kingdom Hearts, the collection 1 through 3 is coming to Switch 2. This is on Switch 1, but it's only cloud versions. These are actual full native versions instead of being cloud. Super excited for that. And they wrapped that up by being like, oh yeah, and by the way, here's 4. So yeah, we got to look at that, which it was first announced a while back, but we finally got to look at it again. It is the same trailer that they showed a while back, but yeah, we got an announcement like, hey, it's coming to Switch 2 the same day it's going to hit PS5, Series X, and PC, most likely sometime next year. And then, like I said, they closed out an Ocarina of Time. The remake, it is beautiful. And yeah, that's pretty much why it won. People who haven't played games in years, but they had played Zelda, like Ocarina of Time on the 64, are coming back for it. They're excited. This is a good way to get a newer Zelda player into it. Because I know I've heard a lot, well, you've seen a lot online. I've heard younger kids say it myself. They can't get into Ocarina of Time. It's partially the controls, and it's just, it doesn't look pretty. So, boom, here you go. It's going to have modern controls. We don't know if they're going to be changing anything. In a press release, Nintendo simply wrote, Nintendo 64 Classic returns for a new generation in 2026, reborn exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2. Reborn makes me think it's a little bit of a reimagining, so they're probably going to tweak some things, but keep most of it true. They did say there was something in the codes that were people dug through, which is now taken down. You can't look at it anymore. But something about it being the same classic or the legendary gameplay. So I feel they're keeping the gameplay the same. It's just other things are going to come in and probably tweak some things, make the world bigger, most likely. That would be my assumption. Some people think there's going to be climbing. I can see there being a little bit more climbing. We're not going to have weapon breakage. I don't see them doing that at all. That would piss a lot of people off. I mean, it pissed me off. You're taking a game that's great and throwing in weapon breakage, which is like the worst thing about Breath of the Wild. That is the downfall of Breath of the Wild, is the weapon breakage. Just because it was too much. There were some weapons you hit like 9 times and it's broken. And I'm not talking about like a stick, but like an actual sword or something like that. And it's like, that's a bit much. Kick it back a notch. But yeah, I'm excited for that. We don't have a release date for it. Some people think they're going to try to meet the original release date, which was the 22nd. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, the 21st is the original release day when it released on the 64. So people are saying like, oh, hey, the 19th is going to be a good day, which I incorrectly said earlier, but GTA releases on the 19th of November. So, oh, that's going to be interesting. I wonder if they'll do that. It wouldn't hurt Nintendo to do it in one sense. GTA 6 is not coming to Switch 2 right now. It's not announced for it. We don't expect it. So this would give Switch players something to go at. I'll be one of them because that's the game I would choose out of the two anyways. A lot of people don't see the same way, but that's me. That is me. So yeah, shit tons of games coming out. A lot of announcements for September, October, and early November. Another early November game that's coming out, which wasn't shown in here, and it should have been. It should have got some love. I might have mentioned it last week or a couple weeks ago, but Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. The remake of that's coming out, or remaster. I'm assuming it's a remaster. That's coming out. So, yeah, I'm excited for that one. That was a GameCube game from back in the day. Yeah, that was that. Now for the rant. This isn't going to be super long, but Xbox has an issue. Xbox has a very big issue. And I've been crying on here for a while, not because I hate Xbox. I like Xbox. I've played Xbox for years. I first started playing on the original Xbox when I never owned an Xbox myself. The first time I played on regular Xbox is when I lived with my uncle, and my cousin had it. So we played that all the time. Played a bunch of Halo. Then when the 360 came out, I was living with my buddy. He bought one. And we both played the shit out of that. I played a lot of games, fell in love with a lot of games on that console. That's when I started playing Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Eternal Sonata, which is a JRPG about Frederick Chopin, the musician, the pianist, composer, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, I played a lot of great games on there. There's a lot of games I want to come back, like Lost Odyssey. I bought it for 360 again to play on my kids' Series X because it's a great game. They have great games. And I played almost all the Halos, ODST being my favorite. I think that's one of the best Halo games ever made. I love this, the more in-depth detective mode you do in it, which just changed the pace for me after playing 1, 2, and 3. And it's just nonstop shooting with in 1, a lot of walking. But yeah, it was a nice change of pace, and I loved the game. I like the Halo universe. It's very interesting. Gears of War, played all those. Well, not 4 or whatever, the one that people thought was a downfall. Younger generation of soldiers. And then Fable. Yeah, I like the systems. They've been good. I've been mad at Xbox, the company, because they've made bad decision after bad decision. They went out and they bought a bunch of companies, a bunch of studios, some that I very much love, like Obsidian and In Exile. They have some great companies. And yeah, one thing that we've seen from them quite frequent, to be honest, more than once a year, is stuff like this. Like, hey, Compulsion Games might be getting shut down by Xbox. So this is the studio behind Midnight. Oh, what was it called? South of Midnight. Yeah, and We Happy Few. They put out games that they're on the more indie side. They're more niche, but people like them. They have a fan base. South of Midnight looks beautiful to me. I thought it was coming to Switch, or Switch 2, but I don't know if that ever happened. I'll have to check it out, because if it is a game I want. It looks amazing. I could have bought it on the Xbox. I mean, I bought a few other games on there to play. But yeah, it's sad to see this. They keep closing studios. There was an announcement that came out recently, just last week, end of last week, that Microsoft is actually looking at trying to spin off Xbox into its own company, and then try to make it like maybe a joint venture with another company. Like maybe you'll have Google come in and they'll co-own or co-run, fund Xbox, and then that'll make it more appealing to investors, so then they could eventually, in the end, sell it off. And that's upsetting. That's the end of Xbox as we know it. Like we're seeing the end of Xbox as we know it. And people don't want to agree with this. There's few that have, like Player Essence on YouTube. Check him out. He mentioned it too in one of his videos about it. Why is Xbox not doing well? Why do they keep struggling? It's Game Pass. The way they use Game Pass is very flawed. People who use Game Pass and love it, I get it. You love it. It's a great deal for you. It's a wonderful deal for the player, especially if you have a lot of time to play games. Oh yeah, because you can play 50 games that would have cost you like thousands of dollars a year for just hundreds a year. There's a few hundred. But imagine if all those people who played that game bought it. They would make money. They would make more money than the revenue they make from Game Pass. Look at Sony. Sony has a similar thing. They have their PlayStation Plus nonsense. And if you have the premium, it's the equivalent of Game Pass, except for they don't put out day one new releases onto the service. They want their players to buy the new game. And they do. That helps keep them afloat. I'm not saying Sony's perfect. They're far from perfect. All of them are far from perfect. Nintendo, theirs is just classic games. And it works. It works. They don't run into this issue where they're like, hey, we're basically giving out our free games, like our new game, for free, essentially, in a way, in a sense. You're not paying the full $60, $70, $80 for it. You're paying, what is it now, 25, somewhere between 25 and 35 a month. I have no clue what it is anymore. But that hurts them. The fact that they don't sell games is what's killing Xbox. It's been killing them for years, and they don't seem to understand that. They're doing these exclusives. They're doing Clockwork Revolution, and it's a console exclusive made by a company, a developer that I love, in Exile. They made Wastelands 3, one of my favorite games of all time. They're not going to be selling many copies on Xbox. It's going into Game Pass. They're fully relying, 100% relying on PC players to carry them. Which I guess if you want to simp and say like, hey, Game Pass isn't the issue, that's not what's wrong. You're going to seriously sit there and be like, oh, well, it's PC players' fault that the studio got shut down afterwards, because that's what's going to happen. I am going to see an Exile and probably Obsidian shut down because they can't sell their games. They don't sell their games. If you look at what sold better on what console, did Obsidian's last Outer Worlds, did Outer Worlds 2 sell better on Xbox or did it sell better on PlayStation? It didn't sell phenomenal on PlayStation, but damn, it sold 100% more on PlayStation than it did on Xbox. Because again, Game Pass. They're encouraging you not to buy their games. The solution, the quickest solution, is to be like, hey, by the way, we've been saying we're going to have to make a bunch of changes to Game Pass. No more day one releases. Period. Make it a more classic style. Put some Xbox One games on there. Flood it with that. But nothing new. Make players, if they want to play a new game, buy it. Don't just rely on PlayStation people to play the third parties, which you're trying to get rid of. Don't make PC players carry the weight of the console. You're going to keep failing. You're going to see your studios continue to not make money. They're not making tons of money like the studios. That's the thing you got to understand is Xbox, the company, is making money as the publisher for putting the games onto Game Pass. But the studios are basically just losing money, which in the end causes their owner, who's the publisher, to lose money. It's a lose-lose situation. But it's great for the player. If it's too good for the player, it could be bad. We had the same issue with Epic Games on PC. They're the only place I know of that truly constantly gives out free games. You don't ever have to pay a penny. It is a free game. They give out 2 a week. They're hemorrhaging money on top of what they're hemorrhaging because of Fortnite and all their deals they're having to do. But it's hurting them. They probably need to kick it back to maybe 1 game. Maybe. Or make it to where you get the game if you continue to buy stuff. I mean, money has to come in for them to survive. And that's what's hurting Xbox is they don't have that money coming in. You can say like, oh yeah, they make $5 billion a year off Game Pass. Yeah, I've seen those sheets too that they release that say, oh, they're making all this money. But how did they make $5 billion the same year they bought Activision, which cost them over $70 billion? And there was no fluctuation before or after. 5 billion, 5 billion, 5 billion. But in the middle of that, there was a negative 70 billion. And it didn't show. Because Game Pass, Xbox, they don't register losses. they're not telling you how much they're having to pay for this game to go on here, because they have to give the publisher, the studio money, or the publisher money in order to put it onto Game Pass if it's a third-party game. They don't count that in. So it looks like, oh yeah, it's just all happy fun times. Nah, dude. And then plus over the past 5 years. Well, it's funny. At first, the report was 3 years. Then it went to 5 years. So whichever one's true. But they spent $20 billion on marketing, which then took all their money they made from Game Pass, wiped it out. Basically, every year they're putting in $5 billion to marketing of Game Pass, and they're making $5 billion off Game Pass. They made $0. So again, without those sales of the games, which they'd be making billions of dollars, they got nothing. They are just hemorrhaging money from Microsoft, and Microsoft understands that. And me and Hawk have been crying out for years. Like since this, especially since this channel started, we've been crying about it constantly. They need to do something. And the honest, quickest fix is to stop day one games launching into Game Pass. Because if you want Game Pass to be the moneymaker people think it is, you got to be paying about $80 a month for your subscription. Not $80 like every 2-3 months, $80 every month. And then if they keep all the same subscriber count they have now, then they'll be doing well. They'll be making a little bit of money. Not massive amounts, but enough to where they could quit shutting down studios. They can quit ruining the gaming market, because that's sadly what they're doing. Xbox needs to go back to their glory days of the 360 when they weren't ruining gaming. They were making it better. Those are the days I want to see for them. They did fantastic things in the 360 age. And then Xbox One, we all know, was a just enormous failure because they went away from gaming and started focusing on like, hey, you can watch TV on here. Yeah, I know that was the craze of the PS3, but the PS4 was all about gaming. You could still do your stuff. You could still get NBA on there. You get MLB and blah, 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 all these other networks on there, but gaming came first and they forgot about that. Now they're trying to make a comeback and get that player base back in, revive it, listening to the fans. And the fans aren't saying anything about the fact that they need to either raise prices on Game Pass or cut that out. No, they were like, exclusives, which is just screaming, kill the company. Everybody who voted for exclusives and didn't say anything about, hey, make sure you're selling the game instead of giving it out on Game Pass, was begging for Xbox to shut down more studios. And they couldn't comprehend the fact that that's what they're doing. And it's very upsetting to see that. And people aren't putting two and two together. And yes, I talked to somebody in comments of, I think it was What Culture, when they were talking about this. And the one downside to buying games, especially for Xbox, is they don't print as many games onto physical copies. Like Avowed. Avowed did not get a physical copy at all, just digital. And we have that big issue with digital games right now, or unless you're getting them from GOG. And that's basically, you don't own it. You have a license to it. If that license gets revoked, screw you. You can't do it anymore. GOG has the same thing. If they catch you playing with the wrong files in your game, they can remove license for all the games you got from GOG. They have that ability. People don't want to admit that or understand that, but they do. It's in their terms of service. They let you know right there, like, hey, by the way, even though they're DRM free, we can take your shit from you. That's a thing. That's where we're at with digital gaming. So yes, physical games are better, but if you look at what Nintendo's doing, Nintendo's like, hey, if you buy it digitally, it's $10 off. We're in a hellscape. We need the Stop Killing Games movement to make some progress. It would help Xbox, because then there's less of that fear of like, hey, I'm going to buy this game on Xbox, but it could be revoked anytime. It's a mess. It's a mess. That's a whole different world, a whole nother conversation. But for Xbox, yeah, they need to look at selling games, 100%. They are going to keep dying, and we don't need another company shutting down studios. We already have one that shuts down studios left and right, and that's Ubisoft or Ubisoft. They love shutting down studios. They've been hemorrhaging money for years. I mean, we're still waiting for Beyond Good and Evil 2, which has been in like development since some people who are probably watching this were born. Like Ubisoft is now, this is a new one. This is from just last week. Ubisoft is closing Winnipeg and Belgrade studios and making further layoffs. The French publisher could eliminate up to 380 roles. This is after they just did their restructuring just a few months back. They restructured and were like, hey, you know, we cut down a lot. Now these studios are this and this and this and this. Well, they had 5 branches. Now they have 4. So, yeah, we don't need Xbox to continue shutting down studios. We just don't need it. I mean, we don't need studios to be bought by these console manufacturers anymore because that's all we've gotten. We don't need them to be big conglomerates. Look at everybody stopped talking about them, but what is their name? I am drawing a fat blank. (2022). It's the people who own them. Or who owned. Embracer Group. There we go. Embracer Group, who bought up a bunch of studios thinking like, hey, we're going to make this great stuff. And that makes me sad because that's THQ Nordic. Like they're one and the same. They bought all these studios and then had to shut a bunch of them down. Given the game I just pulled up, Saints Row from 2022, wasn't the greatest game. It was sad to see them get shut down. It was sad to know that game was also rushed, and that's part of why it suffered, besides the fact they were trying to reach out to Gen Zers, even though they were barking up the wrong tree altogether. But yeah, we don't need more of that. Let's stop this. Stop this mega group thing. There are studios that work alongside of Nintendo and alongside of Sony, and they're not owned by either of those big companies. They just work alongside them. The people who make the Fire Emblem games is not a Nintendo studio. They could jump off and go do something else. The Pokemon company, God, I'm just blanking. What the heck is their name? I am gonna freak out. What are they called? Game Freak. There we go. Game Freak. They're making a game that's not Pokemon. That's on Xbox and PS5. Because they're not a Nintendo company. Nintendo invests in them. They don't own them. I like that. I like that. Let these companies invest in these studios. They don't need to own them. You don't need to try to lock them down. Xbox didn't need to lock down Bethesda. They just didn't need to. But they did. And I don't think they would happen to Bethesda, but Bethesda could also get shut down. We're looking at Obsidian's going to get shut down. Like at this point, it's almost guaranteed. They've already reduced what Obsidian does as a company or as a development studio. They're going to get shut down. If Clockwork Revolution doesn't sell a bajillion copies on PC, and Exile shut down 100% because it's a console exclusive. You're not going to let it try to sell more. Just shut it down. Shut it down. And then let's go back to Gears of War E-Day. It was already made for PS5, and they pulled it. To be like, oh, we have an exclusive. Like, dude, don't listen to people who don't understand business. And the fact that the company went ahead and said, yes, we're going to do this because we don't understand business either is frustrating. It is frustrating. I don't get it at all. I got to change this song. This is like the 5th time it's played or 20th time. It's a minute and a half song. But yeah, like it's crazy. It's crazy to see this, to see a behemoth, to see Xbox just time after time just take the gun and point at their own foot and just be like, well, you know, last time I pulled the trigger, it only hurt me. What happens if I do it again? And that's all they're doing. If you listen to anybody talk and they say, I don't know why Xbox is hurting, let them know this is that. And if they don't agree, well, I guess that's their opinion, but that's fact. That's why they're hurting. That's just what it is. That is the state of gaming for Xbox. They don't sell games. You cannot grow if you don't sell games. Nintendo is in their own world of doing games. That's one reason I like to play their games. They understand, hey, if we sell the game, we're going to make more because we're going to make a lot of money off of it. Given they get greedy as fuck when it comes to like Mario Kart World being an $80 game, a game that, like I said earlier, we haven't got an update on. We haven't gotten anything for it. Maybe they're working on it. Who knows? Who knows? But that's upsetting. Fire Emblem is going to be another $80 game. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see Xbox do well, but I just don't think they're going to. They're not going to ever realize the fact that they're screwing themselves over because of the thing that they try to push harder and harder and harder. Game Pass is killing them. Day one releases in Game Pass is what's killing them. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And I've seen a lot of talking heads come out and just be like, I don't get why this is happening. I don't get why this is happening. If you cover gaming and you don't know why this is happening, you do not cover gaming. You don't do it justice, and you're just kind of glazing the fans. You're just trying to make them feel like, oh, yeah, you know, everything's bright and shiny here. We don't get why. Bro, you do. They don't sell games. They don't sell their new releases. It's frustrating. That's why when they decided to go third party and they looked like they were just going to be a publishing group instead of a console manufacturer, things looked promising for them. Because then their games would come out to other platforms to increase the odds of them selling enough to break even. But if you keep giving out the games at no extra charge for people who pay for Game Pass, you're never going to succeed. You just can't. Not at that price. $80 a month? Possibly. But less than that, not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. And if you go up that high, you're losing most of the people who pay for it. So that's what it is. That's just what it is. Maybe they should do timed exclusives if people want exclusives, but still, you gotta sell them. You gotta sell them. Yeah, that's really all I had on the topic. That's my rant. It's been bugging me for a while. It just got more and more frustrating the more I see this. People kept saying like, "Oh yeah, you know, the announcement of exclusives were going well. Fans seem to take it well." And it's like, no, you can't say the fans took it well. The message that we're getting exclusives back as taken well until they say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to buy that game." If they're cheering, yes, I'll be able to play this on Game Pass. No, they didn't take it well because they don't understand the message. They don't understand why they're killing their own company by supporting that method. It's bad. And I'm not saying go spend all your money. I hate spending money. Like I'm also up there. I like to buy a lot of my games just super steep discounts, like a lot of Steam players do. There was the old meme that went around of like, hey, you know, Steam people saying like, you know, everybody should support the dev. The game's up there, like, just wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Now it's on sale for like $2. Support the dev. Yeah, that's how it looks to the outside. But yeah, anyways, been playing a lot of games, mainly on my Switch too. I'm trying to go back and beat Final Fantasy VII remake so I can move on with it. I'm on the Hell House right now, and I just that was the moment when I played it on PS4 that it hit me like, I don't like this game. And when I loaded up and realized I'm there again, I was like, that's right. This stupid fight. This just horrendously stupid fight. And it's not like people exaggerate that the water temple is like the worst thing in Ocarina of Time. It's not that bad. It is not hard to get through. It's a lot of up and down and hitting switches. It's not hard to get through. The Hell House fight is just annoying. It is the most annoying thing I've seen in gaming. And to make it a boss fight, like mandatory boss fight, it's just dumb. It is a slog. Yeah, besides that, like I said, I was playing some DS games, getting back into those. That's really it. Play a lot of Pokemon Go, because that's fun to do when you're walking around. Anyways, I thank you guys for listening to my rant, listening to me ramble. Let me know what you guys have been playing. Let me know if you know of any other ways or come up with another way for Xbox to save themselves. Drop it in the comments. And yeah, until next time, hopefully Hawk will be back with me. But until next time, you guys take care. Hey, thanks for watching.
Give us a like if you enjoyed it, and dislike it if you didn't.
Let us know what you think about the channel.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Tell your mom.